So here's another example of algebraic division. I've taken this one straight from the spec, this cubic here, they specifically mention it. So to do this, we're going to do the exact same method as before. First of all, we need to write it out in the sort of bus stop method that we talked about, where it's going to be 3x minus 2 on the outside, because that's what we're dividing by, and then on the inside it's going to be 6x cubed plus 11x squared minus x minus 6, and all of this is going to be under the symbol. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is we want to divide 6x cubed by 3x. Remember, it's the first term in the polynomial that we're dividing by the first term in the polynomial that we're dividing by. Now, the coefficients of these terms shouldn't scare you at all. You just divide them as normal. So it's going to be 6x to the power of 3 divided by 3x. You can write it out if you want to, but I'm just going to do it in my head. So 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2, and then x cubed divided by x is equal to x squared. And I just kind of do it separately like that. Then the next step is to multiply the 2x squared by the polynomial that we're dividing by, and this is going to be 6x cubed minus 4x squared. Then we're going to want to minus this for the next step, and this is going to be, again, these two are always just going to cancel out. And then remember about the minus here, we need to take this into consideration. So this is going to be two minuses, so it's 11 squared minus 4x squared, which is going to be 11 squared plus 4x squared. Remember, the minuses turn into a plus when you do two minuses. And then this is going to then be 15x squared. So the approach of when this is a minus is the exact same. You consider this minus and then just turn it into a plus. It's going to be 15x squared, and then we're just going to bring the minus x down like this. Then we're going to repeat this for the 15x squared. So it's going to be 15x squared divided by 3x, which is going to be plus 5x. Then we're going to times the 5x by the 3x minus 2 to get 15x squared minus 10x. Then we're going to minus this in order to get, again, this is just going to cancel out, and then it's going to be minus x minus, remember to include the minus over here, minus 10x, which is going to be minus x plus 10x, so that's going to be 9x, and then we're going to bring the minus 6 over here down, and then this is going to be we're going to do the step here where we're going to do 9x divided by 3x, and this is going to be just 3 because the x's is just going to cancel out. Then we're going to times the 3 by the 3x minus 2 to get 9x minus 6, and then we're going to minus this to get the 9x's will just cancel out, and then it's going to be minus 6 minus minus 6, which is going to be minus 6 plus 6, and that's going to be 0. Again, you can write out all of this rather than do it in your head if you want to, but I just find doing it in my head a lot quicker. So therefore we've got a remainder of 0, so therefore it's just it's a factor. So therefore the answer to this, divide 6x cubed plus 11x squared minus x minus 6 by 3x minus 2, this is going to be equal to 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. This up here, and as the remainder is 0, this is a factor, so if we wanted to, if the question was asking us to factorize it instead, we can actually write this as 2x squared plus 5x plus 3, and then 3x minus 2, and then we can factorize this as well if we wanted to. But remember, we can only do this when the remainder is 0, because that will be when 3x minus 2 is a factor. So here's another example that is taken straight from the spec, where this specific cubic is mentioned on the spec. Now, this is a bit of an interesting example, because as you can see, we haven't actually got an x term. We've got x to the power of 3 and x to the power of 2 and the constant at the end, but we don't actually have the x term. And if you do this just by dividing by putting this under the symbol, then going like that, you'll find that it won't actually work. You won't actually be able to get an answer or a right answer. It will just fall apart. So when you're in this situation where one of the terms isn't given to you, you need to approach this in a specific way where the same thing where we're going to do the bus stop method. We're going to write it like that. So it's x minus 1 on the outside, and on the inside of the symbol it's x to the power of 3 plus 3x squared. And for the missing term, we're going to write this as plus 0 x. If we don't do this, it won't work. You have to write the 0x like this. So remember this, because this is a specific example that they could throw at you. But then the approach is just the exact same. So first of all, we need to divide x to the power of 3 by x, and this is going to be x squared. I'm going to write it up here. Then we need to times x squared by x minus 1, and this is going to be x to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 2. Again, you can write out the maths if you want to, but I'm just doing it in my head. And then you're going to minus this. Remember, these two are just going to cancel out. Remember, you need to include this minus over here. You need to take it into account. So it's going to be 3x squared minus x squared, which is going to be 3x squared plus x squared. So therefore, it's just going to be 4x squared. And then we're going to bring the plus 0 x down as normal. Then we're going to divide 4x squared by x, and this is going to be up here. This is going to be plus 4x. Then we're going to times the 4x by the x minus 1 and write it down here. This is going to be 4x squared minus 4x. Then we're going to minus this. This is going to be, again, these are just going to cancel out, and then it's going to be 0x minus 4x, which is going to be 0x plus 4x. So therefore, that's just going to be plus 4x, and we're going to bring the minus 4 down. Then we're going to divide 4x by x in order to get up here. This will be 4, and then we need to times 4 by x minus 1. And this is going to give us 4x minus 4. Then we need to minus this. These two are just going to cancel out, and there's going to be minus 4 minus minus 4, which is minus 4 plus 4, which is going to be 0. So the answer to this, as the remainder is 0, the answer to x to the power of 3 plus 3x squared minus 4 divided by x minus 1, this is going to equal x squared plus 4x plus 4. And as the remainder is 0, therefore x minus 1 is a factor, so therefore we can actually factorise this expression up here into x squared plus 4x plus 4 x minus 1, and we can factorise it further by factorising this as well if we wanted to. Just a really quick thing I just want to say, I said this before, I just want to exaggerate again. The questions will not look like this, where it's divide something by something. We'll talk in the factor theorem what the questions will actually look like, but they're very similar, but they just won't look, where they won't be worded like this. So I don't think they're going to do an example where there is going to be a remainder, aka when the remainder is not 0, because when the remainder is 0, you can kind of expand it into other questions like about factorisation and stuff like that. So I find it unlikely that they will ask you an algebraic division question where there is a remainder, but if they do, it will probably be in this style, and I'm doing this little bit because there is a couple of examples of this in the book. So in this question they want you to find the remainder when 2x to the power of 3 minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 3 is divided by 2x plus 1. So what we're going to do is going to do the 2x plus 1 on the outside. On the inside we're going to do the 2x to the power of 3 minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 3. And then we're going to divide 2x to the power of 3 by 2x in order to get x to the power of 2. Then we're going to do x to the power of 2 times 2x plus 1 to get 2x to the power of 3 plus x squared. Then we're going to minus this. This is obviously just going to cancel out. And then this is going to be minus 3x squared minus x squared, which is going to be minus 4x squared. And we're going to bring the minus 4x here down. Don't forget that. And then we're going to do minus 4x squared divided by 2x. And this is going to be minus 2x. And then we're going to times minus 2x by 2x plus 1, and this is going to be minus 4x squared minus 2x, and then we're going to minus this. Obviously these two are just going to always cancel out, and there's going to be minus 4x minus minus 2x, which is going to be minus 4x plus 2x, which is going to be minus 2x, and we can bring the plus 3 down. Then we're going to divide the minus 2x by the 2x over here to do minus 1, and then we're going to times the minus 1 by the 2x plus 1 to do minus 2x minus 1, and then minus this, and then this is going to be minus 3 minus minus 1, which is plus 3 minus minus 1, which is plus 3 plus 1, which is then going to be 4. And therefore we can just say that the remainder is going to equal 4. Now I said before I find these quite unlikely for them to ask this, mainly because obviously you can't write 2x to the power of 3 minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now you cannot write that as 2x plus 1 x squared minus 2x minus 1, because it doesn't work, because the remainder is no longer 0, so therefore 2x plus 1 is not a factor of 2x of the algebraic expression, so therefore you can't factorize it in this way and it doesn't work. So I find it unlikely that they're going to ask something like this.